I'm straight.
Gotta get my comfort.
Gotta get that
Comfort side.
comfortability.
Yeah.
All right. We got a lot to talk about today, America.
All right, so it's time to go off.
All right.
It's time to go off.
So we back in the game.
Go off.
The production team. Are we ready?
Okay, that we go.
We need a testing situation.
Right, they going off too.
All right.
Okay,
We got the word
team.
from Woo. I don't care what Dean talking about. Woo, are we good to go?
What's happening? We in the building.
Yeah,
Opinions, the Go Off show about to go off.
Woo, are we straight?
N.O.PINIONS started.
That's who I need to decide.
Thank you, baby.
I need to
Pick
decide.
up a little
No,
bit,
I need
y'all.
to drive.
I need to
That's what
drive.
I need to
I
drive.
want the drive. Greg in the building, Dave in the building. Trying to do it bigger, better. Every episode for you all. We back for number 4. Lot to go off about. Quite honestly, we had a whole situation, a script, an agenda, itinerary of things about which to go clean off. But we are going to start with Robinette and the rest of the, I think it was about 10 white people and Robinette got together and decided that they going to save America. So America is back to now being the best place in the world to live. There's an infrastructure bill. I think they say we have a deal. I'm not quite sure with the legislative posture of it. I don't even think it is a bill. It's just they decided, right? So it's about to be fixed, about to be money flowing.
It's a deal. It's a deal for who?
So yeah, exactly. So let's get into the nuts and bolts, and then we can talk about what's going on. I'ma just go ahead and say it, and I told y'all from the get. Democrats hoes. So on the broad strokes, I had to first ask when it was cut from big, $2.2 trillion of play money to 900, I think it is, not $1.2 trillion in fake money. What was gonna be left out? I didn't really have to, just like we didn't have to investigate January 6th. We didn't have to investigate what got left out. I just wanted to see what kind of pomp and circumstance, the Republicans are gonna do by saying they are serving America by, allowing the Democrats to get an infrastructure bill. And now it's Democrats' turn now to do the mental gymnastics around, this is a victory for America by pausing them together. What do you say we're going to take on other Democratic priorities? We're going to take on other Democratic priorities in separate legislation. That's some bullshit. This week, you tried to do that with voting rights, and they squashed that shit. They pulling imaginary whole cards on. We gonna filibuster. Ain't that motherfucker filibuster? That shit made up. Ain't nobody about to get up there, and they did it. I think a couple of years ago with what was the healthcare bill, reading the phone book and all that kind of foolishness. But you gonna filibuster voting rights. We just straight up.
Wait. It was a motion to have a debate.
Talk.
To have a debate.
We're not even talking. We not talking.
It's a motion to debate, man.
This the whole Juneteenth celebration. Man, I don't want to hear nothing about all that.
Man, it's a motion to debate. Not for it.
We ain't talking about voting. We didn't told y'all how we feel about that. We didn't told y'all. So then they come around with an infrastructure bill that, on the broad strokes, this is from the White House, whitehouse.gov fact sheet, one fact about what's going on. So the American Jobs Plan, all right, blah, blah, rescue, we save everybody, I'm sorry, it's a slip. They say the white people because we'll see. I don't think, black people really gonna eat off this. Fix highways, rebuild bridges, upgrade ports, airports, and transit systems. I mean, on its face,
That's a Republican win. That's so the Republicans can stand on their principles of what's traditional infrastructure.
Yeah.
That's all. That's why. And when we first talked about it, as I said, that was where their focus was going to be.
Those things that grease the wheels of free enterprise. I'm not even going to say capitalism because that's a different bucket. Again, pause again for the stupids. I'm not talking about communism. I draw a distinction between socialism and whatever y'all call this rugged individualism, capitalism. It's bullshit. But at the end of the day, free enterprise, not related. They have free enterprise in China. So I don't want to hear that. I'm talking about free enterprise. And these things do allow, honestly, for America to dominate or to remain and provide us with a standard of living that we enjoy. So it's definitely, for messaging and for political points, a Republican win. But again, I think this is part of what makes our country our country. And again, yes, it's mine. Yes, it's mine. I ain't going nowhere. We built it. I built it. It's mine.
So,
all right. What's next?
Deliver clean drinking
These
water.
niggas talking about water, dog. Hot.
I don't see the words.
These niggas talking about water.
Dave, I don't see the word Flint in.
Hot.
I don't see the word Flint in this specific focus on the people in Flint who've been dealing with water. But it does say it's improving the health of our country's children and communities of color. Okay. So, I mean, hey, man, it's in a plan.
The words there. I just want pause for a minute. Again, all these rugged individualist capitalists, we negotiating water. Let's put that in the street. Water. Everything big in Texas. Oh, Texas is great. Big state, the Lone Star. All this and that.
But you're talking about a party who at their
Y'all
core,
motherfuckers started negotiations.
At their core, they don't believe people have the right to anything, man. So you arguing against like these people whole ideology begins with they have to not have, man. Like this robbing that them. So
number 2 achievement is water.
So, but he can say he did something though. And Republicans get the win of minimizing his agenda.
Water.
All of the pieces that related to supporting an economy that's looking forward into the jobs, into the technology that'll be coming with our future. All of that stuff got removed out of here.
And so I want to hit on the other 2 things. So a renewed electric grid. And again, I want to bring up Texas.
High-speed broadband to all Americans.
Because is multifaceted stupidity and just incorrect messaging that one team or one group is spreading and the other group is too much, they insert derogatory demeaning term here to do anything about. So Texas is on its own grid.
Yeah.
And I don't know the particulars, but some kind of way they levelized billing shit all fucked up. I pay levelized billing with energy. So when it get too hot, I'm not getting slammed with the AC bills or, too cold with all the heavy heat bills, it level off. So like October, April, when I ain't using neither one, I ain't paying zero, right?
All right.
And I'm not getting slammed. So I pay levelized billing to have to not deal with that.
All right.
So they then voted some people in the office who said, we ain't, fuck levelized billing or peak demand and none of that shit. Now the shit coming home to roost, right?
All right.
So on top of that, so they on their own grid, they mixed, power sources. So they have nuclear, they have biofuels or non-renewables, they have wind, solar, they have things like they try. You see what happened when you try to go this green energy and all. Ain't none of the green shit failed. Ain't none of that shit was the green shit. None of it.
Right.
None of it. But they allowing people to be talking about, it's too much of a load. And then the third thing, they asking.
Keep the lights off, they don't really give a fuck.
They're trying to ask people to put their thermostat on 78 and all that. Man,
You're gonna force a blackout.
that ain't the problem. That ain't the problem. One, Americans selfish. Ain't nobody about to do that shit.
That's not the power for you, but for those people who are under the threat of having their lights cut off,
people
that's
ain't
definitely
about to do
the
that
power
shit.
for them, man. Shit, that's definitely a problem. For
And
them people.
again, this number 2 on the list. Heat.
Clean water.
Water and heat.
Clean water. Well,
Water and heat is what to go.
but that just shows how when I said that I believe that Democrats writ large are simpletons, you decided to argue to the contrary, and I disagree, because there's no way that you can go to an American public who use the franchise to empower you, to give you majorities in both houses, and you have the presidency. So I mean, what is the barrier that keeps you from leaning to their needs?
Them niggas. Insert derogatory term here, because I'm trying to be.
I said that
inclusive.
too.
Now,
I said
I'm
that
not
too.
talking about offending. I want to offend them. I just don't want to use a word that, detracts from my message and upset a group that I'm not intending to upset.
But
I'm clearly saying, fuck Democrat. The
offense is that you are not meeting the needs of the people who you claim to represent. That is offense. If that is the pure purpose of your job, you are elected what? Representative. Okay. So if you're not representing the people who elected your ass, how much more offensive can you be?
So then they hit me with something I'm not really in touch with, right? So I posted an article on Twitter that kind of got me up to speed, you feel me? The high-speed broadband to all Americans. Now, when I think about this, I think about it in the context of mostly rural America, where you actually physically have to build infrastructure for broadband.
To support the networks. Yeah, I get you.
So I think most people like me feel like that's what I think about when they saying spend money on that.
All right.
Right? Because I already know the infrastructure is in place to get broadband to every household in my community. So the only other excuse is what? I mean, we already know what time it is because of, it's us. But again, this is part of number 2. High-speed broadband to every American, including more than 35% of rural Americans who lack access to broadband at minimally acceptable. So, again, if this digital age, information age, and everything like that, and if they're putting it in the street that, broadband should be on like the situation with, water and electricity.
Like I said, son.
This where we starting the debate, dog.
No, you not starting shit. What debate? This is released. What you talking about? Ain't no debate.
So number 3.
That is part of the plan.
Number
Ain't no
3.
damn debate. These people don't give a shit about none of these folks, Dave.
None
of that shit. None of that matters to these people. They don't want none of these people to have nothing. Right?
Again, go to Robinette website, whitehouse.gov. We there. Build, preserve, and retrofit more than 2 million homes and commercial buildings. Modernize our nation's schools and child care facilities, and upgrade veterans hospitals and federal buildings.
All right. So that's something that Republicans can stand behind. You know, that is old school traditional infrastructure. Just like roads and bridges and hospitals and shit. See? But you seem to act like you don't understand who you dealing with. Democrats are not gonna fight for anything better than this.
These niggas talk about cutting their own grass, Greg. This the shit you supposed to do. This the shit. What? 2 million homes and commercial buildings. That's what they own.
I was about to ask you, who owned the commercial
That's
buildings?
what they own.
Who owned the commercial
They
buildings?
own the homes too.
Do you think the Republicans might own some of that shit?
No, what I'm saying is this 2 million number ain't come out of nowhere.
I understand you.
They ain't say like a certain class of home. That's they shit.
That's
They
why I'm asking you the
like,
question.
I'm gonna fix the lights on my own garage and cut the grass, so I'm not the shitty neighbor in the neighborhood. That's what you supposed to do.
Them $1.2 trillion.
Build, preserve, and retrofit
I bet you it won't help your ass.
more than 2 million homes and commercial buildings.
I bet it won't help your ass.
Modernize our nation's schools and child care facilities, and upgrade veterans hospitals and federal buildings.
All right, so you work in schools, right? So you might see a little bit of that cheese.
So what I think they're gonna try to say with this specifically, one, I don't want nobody to take their eye off the ball. All they're doing is literally like mopping the floor in their own shit, like replacing some windows. This is literally taking care of their own house.
Right.
Real clean up our shit.
They're creating good jobs doing this shit.
That's what they're gonna couch it as. They're gonna couch it as, okay, this is the jobs program. We're gonna have a DBE
Dave,
requirement.
Every time there has been an
Yeah, we're
infrastructure
gonna have a
plan,
DBE
this shit
requirement, yeah.
these points have been staples, bro.
So that's what's going on. All right. Okay. Solidify the infrastructure of our care economy by creating jobs and raising wages and benefits for essential home care workers. This is what's on Robinette's site. We gonna go, because I see Gray, he already got it on his mind.
Yeah, I mean,
He already got it on his mind.
yeah,
Let me see.
I've been,
Then, because you know we don't read just one thing, we hit them with the CNN. So we was like, okay, CNN gets straight. What's missing? Greg is good. I mean, just light all my just and
so-
let that bubblate so Greg can go.
so-
on.
what's missing is a component of this plan that would improve the wages of the same home health care workers that we just talked about, who now make approximately $12 an hour, and would put in place infrastructure to give those same workers the opportunity to join unions, right? So most of those people who are in that class of, or in that industry, tend to be women of color, black women, Latina women, right?
Yeah.
So those are the people who really and truly need to have impact to be able to support the work that they do, the communities that they're a part of. But that's what's missing. So how come?
No, because he don't talk. He says raising wages and benefits, right?
So what? From
No, he says that here.
So from $12 to $12.10.
No, Greg. See what I'm saying? I'm on Robinette. I do words, right? I do white people words. He said in the bold underline shit, raising wages and benefits. That nigga don't say nothing about that in the actual paragraph. Not a word.
But in the what's missing
That's
paragraph,
what's missing.
it's spelled
Specifically,
the wages.
what are the wages and the benefits?
So those women know how much they make. It don't. I don't give a lovely fuck what he says here. Those women, what we talked about
nigga
top to
said
bottom once before. Those women who voted for his ass, they know how much they make. They know they're not gonna benefit nothing out of here.
These workers, the majority of whom are women of color,
Stop. Wait. Who are also the most what? Most
loyal,
and consistent and reliable voting bloc. All right, go ahead. Keep going.
have been underpaid and undervalued for too long.
As they will
Period.
continue to be.
Full stop. Yeah. Period. Full stop. Know nothing about how he about to change that. Next sentence. The president's plan makes substantial investments in the infrastructure of our care economy, starting by creating new and better jobs for caregiving workers. So all he talking about is we need more black women taking care of all the old white people.
We create more.
Period.
We create
more
more
of them.
jobs.
We just need more of them.
More jobs.
Everybody talking about no wages and benefits. We just need more of y'all. Stop all the fucking whining.
So the chorus of my song continues to be that the people who put these
Nigga,
folks
you
in
know I'm
office,
silent?
the people who put these folks in office are not the people who are represented in these fucking plans. Their infrastructure don't look like this shit,
No.
right? Because if it was, you would specifically have communities like Flint specifically mentioned in. They would be specifically mentioned in this infrastructure plan, right? You would have like the actual wages of these mostly women of color, and what kind of tangible impacts should they expect to feel? Because these are the most consistent and reliable voting bloc that his party has. So if anybody's interest should be served in the infrastructure plan, whose interest should be served?
Revitalize manufacturing, secure U.S. supply chains, invest in R&D, and train Americans for the jobs of the future.
Which is bullshit.
Boy,
Because in order to do that,
Speak on it,
the resources and technology and infrastructure that's necessary, you just allowed them to debo you down from 2.25 to 1.2. So how you gonna? And those also are probably the people who top to bottom put their name or put their check mark next to you to make sure you got this office. So once again, whose interests are being served by this plan? So when you say it's a deal for who? A deal is people on both sides don't like what the final product. Both sides walk away a little happy, a little unhappy, right? I don't see how Republicans could be unhappy with this plan at all. They stripped you on a price tag, they stripped you on the impact, and they even deboed the little impact that's gonna happen from what could have been those people to people that look more like them, to people that identify with their ideology.
all I see is we about to give more subsidies and handouts to white people to create and innovate. That's white people getting grants. Basically, that's what it comes down to. All right. Last one, create good quality jobs that pay prevailing wages in safe and healthy workplaces while ensuring workers have a free and fair choice to organize, join a union, and bargain collectively with their employers. You can read the details. I'm
Okay,
just
all right.
relating on what's going on.
Ensure that Americans who have endured systemic discrimination, exclusion for generations, finally have a fair shot at obtaining good-paying jobs and being part of a union. All right. So they're trying to take you back to the mindset of when, you know, the union helped create the
The middle class.
the middle class, and that's, you know, he says the middle class is the backbone of the economy, and they are the foundation of our economy, and you know those are the people he wants to support. You know, I don't know, man. I mean, how do you plan to make such a tremendous impact in all of these different places with so little resources, right? And this is the plan. This does not say that this will be the outcome. We don't have any guarantees that all of this stuff is going to come to pass. So at the end of the day, I still say whose interests are served and whose infrastructure is being built by this plan.
That last one is nonsense. I'm gonna just put that in the street because if
It's not nonsense,
it's
Dave.
nonsense.
It's
coming from Robinette.
Coming from Robinette. It's a campaign platform,
Man,
Dave. He has to keep using that language. You said you're a wordsmith, so you've heard him use that language since he first came out and said, first tripped up the stairs at the first little speech he was coming to. So you've heard this before, so you understand what this says. The man been telling you.
From Robinette.
That's his dog whistle for his voters.
Nonsensicalist bullshit.
That's his
dog whistle
for his voters. That's what that is.
It ain't dog whistle for his vote. Well,
man, so they can hear him talking to them. That's what that is.
Shit, but it's bullshit. So let me put it in some context.
Well, I mean, he's a politician.
And he's not just a politician. Robinette has represented the state of Delaware since what? Reconstruction? This nigga been in the game since he was 20-something.
It's about since his fucking hair was good and black.
They got one representative, U.S. House of Representatives. He did that, I think, in his 20s. And then 29, 30, he was elected to the Senate and was the senator, one of the two senators from Delaware up until Barack, right? So Delaware is the state.
He's a politician, Dave.
Where all of the corporations have headquarters or, as their domicile of whatever, that's where we live at, to fuck over people and not have good quality jobs at prevailing wages and come up with all of these director and officer workarounds to not have any accountability or repercussions for not doing these things, who intentionally lobby for and advocate anti-union positions. So coming from Robinette, this is all the way bullshit.
So like
like in language you can understand, Robinette.
Absolutely,
this is poppycock.
He absolutely
that's what this is.
Has knowledge of everything that you just said.
That's what I'm saying.
So he had that knowledge when he released this shit.
But I told y'all. So again, it'll bring me back to this is why I talk about go vote. So I realized the quandary that I'm facing and that I'm yelling, going off about, right? I'm yelling at people, right? And again, I'll mention before Barack, in which both parties, well, one party clearly picked its side, and it had everything to do with shit that don't look like me and shit that ain't in my interest. I was pretty split from a policy standpoint between the two parties. But I mean, neither party represents a majority of America or even a plurality.
That's not the intention.
Of America. So I'm asking, what would it take to just advance candidates that can win, are reflective of their constituency? Because for all the
wait, nah, what you, hold up, wait.
Are reflective of their constituency.
I'm not about to let you run past the statement you just said.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
So you can't have people who can win and are reflective of their constituency.
I think it's possible.
Okay.
That's what I'm asking.
Who, Dave?
I think it's possible.
Who, Dave? silence.
45.
Like I said, okay, but does
Yes.
that constituency look like you?
No,
So-
but
alright,
it
so like-
works.
so
it
like
doesn't
I-
look like everybody in America either.
Man, and what
looked like
what
enough
work for them
in that
don't work for you.
election.
What work for them don't work for
It
you.
looked like enough in that election. And what I'm saying is, I don't think even on a local level.
And I'm gonna ask you again, who, Dave?
Well, I'm gonna take school board for instance.
No, Dave, we talking
What
about
you talking about, like
we
national-
talking
So
about
one,
we talking about
don't-
real impact though.
One, everything is real impact. Don't get into that fucking Democrat shit with just old Congress and president. There are way more
Dave,
political
we
offices
talking
than
about
that.
an infrastructure plan from the president of the United States, right?
So
Right? Is that what we talking about right
as
now?
far it still has to get through Congress, and I'm asking about congressional seats.
Did you not just say don't talk about-
senator seats? I'm talking about any elective office as a political district is currently drawn right now.
All right.
Is there a way for a candidate not belonging to a political party to win as an actual representative
of his constituency.
Of the constituents.
All right. And I asked you, who?
Anybody.
Anybody.
I mean, I like that question because I feel like you have to be part of a major
Party to win.
To win.
But I don't know why that's the
Yeah, I feel
case.
you, Brad.
It costs $150 to run for office.
I understand that, Dave, but you still have to be able to match the candidacy to win and the representative of your constituency.
But what does that mean? Like when you voted for Congress, I'm not gonna ask you who you voted for, but when you voted for Congress, all the people on the ballot, like, did you care if they were one party or another? Did you
I didn't.
care, like, if they actually had a chance to win? Were they reflective of your value? Like, what was that thought process?
Reflective of my core ideas and principles is always the criteria that I use to back or oppose a candidate. That's always my
But
criteria.
have those choices always been limited to a person
Of
or a
one
candidate in
party
one of
versus
the
the
two
other?
major parties?
Shit no. Shit
So
no.
but that's what I'm at. If we have platforms like Instagram and Twitter, I mean, literally 45 won an election on Twitter. So I'm asking, like the big money of the political parties, one, I don't really see how it plays out other than like political strategists and like TV
Bandwidth,
ads,
yes.
budgets to travel. But this
Staff.
thing that we're doing is the equalizer. It is the equalizer. And it certainly helps if you had a reputation, but if you are like a public figure already, that certainly helps.
Right?
But if you're not a public figure, it's on, you can at least put the content out there for really not a huge investment.
Right.
Or that might be if, you find somebody supportive with a studio.
Right.
And, like the financial cost to actually run for political office is now more egalitarian in the sense that this has become an equalizer to some extent.
All right.
Again, you need the big party dollars for endorsements and travel,
All right.
or you get tapped by the kingmaker. Okay.
Okay.
But why couldn't somebody, when you ask me who, I'm thinking, I mean,
And I don't mean a
Like, we
person.
know-
I mean, give me a vignette. Give me like because to me that intersection
Yeah.
of ability to win, capacity to win, and sheer alignment and representation
And
of
representation.
your constituency. That's a brave motherfucker, Dave. And I feel like that was the other half of what 44 did not have.
Yeah,
The ability to win, he had that.
Yeah.
And which he did. But the sheer unabashed representation of the people who put me here,
Yeah.
that takes that takes something that you can't see from a motherfucker when they run it.
You
can't,
didn't think 45 demonstrated that?
Dave.
I think 45 definitely demonstrated.
Definitely.
But 44, you talking about the people that put me here, it was mostly white people.
For 45.
For 44.
For Barack?
Both of them. I mean, you know, and I may be talking out my ass. I mean, most voters are white.
Yeah.
Right?
Agreed, but
Obama, I feel like people showed out and showed up for him.
but he pulled more black people out.
Yeah, I mean,
And so what I'm saying is, since you got all of these black people to get up and vote when they probably would have never voted before, what you gonna do?
Well, I'm the first.
Oh, he a hoe.
So I'm
Al Ben spoke on that.
That's what I'm saying. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? So like I said, the ability to win and the sheer representation of the people who put you there, that's an intersection that not motherfuckers brave enough to stand
But
in.
that's what I'm saying. They hoes for that. But that don't mean I think.
So that
I
go
don't
back
think
to my
nobody can
question
win.
of who is.
impossible to be both.
Oh,
I don't
look!
know if it's impossible,
It's
dog.
not impossible. It's difficult, and you got to be willing to represent people who would have never been able to get let in the room before.
No, one.
Never.
One.
And
white people kill you. Let's put
that's
that
what I'm
in
saying.
That's
and you,
one.
And you got to
These white people kill
you
you.
got to be willing. To,
Trump did it because Trump has the white privilege, but he for sure.
One, we don't use the name.
he
It's
for
just
sure
45. We don't use the
45
name.
represented
Yeah.
the people that.
What?
A lot of people
So
that
so I go back to a question that I always say, and people just say I'm crazy, but I say every president that the United States has ever had has done something to explicitly improve the fortunes of the people who look like him. There's only one who hasn't. You care to guess who that one might be? So that's what. And look, and that's the one who got all of the people to come out and vote for him.
because he was black.
So if that's the case, and you created a groundswell that no other candidate could ever seem to generate, don't you think you need to do something?
I think that's on the next person.
So no.
That's just
So
my
I'm
opinion.
let me back up on that whole premise. I don't know. I don't accept that premise.
I'm gonna accept all of this so that the next person can come.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about.
So that's Barack. So I'm politically, I think from a policy standpoint, he definitely was a hoe on some shit. I'm just putting that in the street. But for you to say that he didn't do anything for people that look like him, that's bullshit. I call bullshit.
All right, well let's speak on it then.
So one, it's not a mistake that black people are in this. One is not a mistake that white people showing their whole ass right now.
All right.
So that's not a mistake.
Well, I mean, this
part,
is America.
But
so
that's
that ain't never.
part of what black people have been wanting to happen for a while. At least like beginning to acknowledge this shit and show your true colors. Like don't. They should, and now it's also not a mistake that black people showing their whole ass.
All right.
On a different level. On a whole nother level, son. On a whole nother level.
But see, I'm not about to underestimate black people like that. I
I
feel like
what I am
we've been
saying-
showing our ass.
what
It just
I
ain't
am
been
saying-
televised.
No, son.
Well, we live in a different time.
No.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
Everything is televised.
Everything televised.
that's the point. So we see it more.
Nah, son.
Barack, I'll credit that to black people, standing up.
No. I credit a lot of it to Barack and Michelle and the whole presidency. The whole, 8 years of you saying like, he was, so I'm a baseball man. I feel a certain kind of way about the Jackie Robinson situation.
All right.
Right? I think that, for however people feel about the way he conducted himself or the way Barack conducted himself, whether or not you thought the premise or I thought the premise was a fucked up situation or proposition from the get-go, he did conduct himself, and as did Michelle, in a manner that
Above report.
above reproach.
Yeah,
Period.
But
Period. And
Which gave him more
No.
capital to show his ass.
but what that showed, what I think that showed
Greg's point, niggas don't need that. We appreciated that because we can show the other people that, hey, not only...
We need other shit, but
No,
don't
son.
say we didn't
No,
need
son.
that.
Not
No.
only can we blend in, but we can be better than you at your shit. That's what Barack and Michelle showed.
Put
Not
on
only
a
can we
world
be you,
stage.
we can be better than you and be the best to ever hold this seat.
Right.
But what Greg is saying is, you know, that's cool, but we need a nigga. We need a nigga to speak for niggas.
And then,
But, like Dave is saying, you have to appreciate the fact that Barack and Michelle, they pretty much stunning on motherfuckers.
Yes.
Like, they stunning. Like,
Perpetually.
This is how you're supposed to do this.
right,
They ain't really...
but look though, look son, they all of the goodwill, and I want to be clear. I'm not saying like his administration wasn't good for shit. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, so 45 has had like they still uncovering shit that this motherfucker did that was illegal, unethical, immoral, whatever else, right? Man, 44 ain't did shit, bro.
That's what I'm
This
saying.
dude, but
son.
listen, son. He didn't hold up, son. He didn't even fold his drawers wrong, son. So if you got all of that pristine, I'm good, goodiness, that's the same shit he took into his second administration. And at that point, he ain't had to prove a goddamn thing to nobody. So at that, hold on.
You feel as a black man.
But this is my voice, so I'm voicing my opinion, and in my opinion, I feel like if it came to an action that in any way could have been perceived as this is not going to impact black people as a whole, his administration, they took off with it. But if it ever became a conversation about something that could have like leveled the playing field for black people, he took a back seat on it, bro. And that's me, and from how I saw it, somebody else could have saw it differently, but I just think that
He was a politician.
which goes back to the whole so I'm gonna go back to my point of having the capacity to win and the sheer ability to always 25 hours out the day, 8 days out the week, 397 days out the year, ready to represent the interests of the people who put you there. That's not something I feel is.
So hold up. Exactly. So one, I want to address that last point first. One, you got to represent. You got to do what's best for the nation, not just who put. And with Barack, again, I am drawing a difference between him not doing enough, which I completely agree with you. He didn't do nearly enough, in my opinion, for black people, and particularly in certain situations where we just needed him to just step up and just be black. Like, you know the weed shit fucked up. You know that. Yeah. Like, you could just let niggas out on weed. Like, just pardon all the weed niggas. You could just do that, right? So that was some whole shit. But I'm not about to just say he ain't do nothing. He ain't do nothing for niggas. I'm not about to say that. I'm not about, because that above reproach changed the whole talk situation, dog. It changed the whole situation. And I think
He only did that because he was black. He had to do that.
I feel like he ain't, it's not that he had to do that. That's who he is. Him and Michelle, that's who they are. Like, they really show, like, if you just let niggas be, we better people than y'all. Flat out. Flat out. And that's the kind of shit that led to the backlash with 45 and the Tea Party and all that shit. They knew. Once Barack and Michelle, they were like, hold up, it's over. If we don't do something to make sure this white inferiority and fragility is engraved in stone now, we gonna get all the Supreme Court niggas, we gonna get all the federal judges, we about to gerrymander our ass off.
And then,
you just
said Barack had to be concerned about the nation, right?
He was.
All right, hold on. So then 45 came in. So tell me what part of the nation he was concerned about.
He didn't have to, though, Greg.
Wait, how not though? Man, listen to me, man. Look, man, I ain't trying to hear that shit. If you are a president and you in the office, then goddamn it, use it. Use the power. I don't want, man. I'm about to use this power. And look, you either gonna get down or you gonna lay down. You get the pick. I'm gonna give you the liberty of deciding you either get down or lay down. And all I'm saying is, if you president,
It wasn't there yet.
man, you not man. What you mean? What you
said
mean?
that
He was 44, son.
Yeah.
He was 44, so that mean he was there.
And what you call it did. So I'm
Nah,
gonna
son,
go clean up.
I can't. Nah, you ain't about to give no pass while I'm sitting there.
The bully pulpit is the primary thing I think Barack would
And he
hold.
stood up and said, if I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon and ain't do shit. Then he stood in the church and cried like a little baby and didn't do shit. You ain't do nothing. Nothing. They got brother. So if you had a son, he'd look like Trayvon, and if he'd have got shot, what you gonna do? You gonna stand up in the church and cry then? Or you gonna come with an executive order?
Yeah.
Man, get out of here, man. We ain't getting no pass while I'm sitting here. It's not happening. Not happening. Not happening.
Well,
That's my go off.
That's your album.
That's my go off.
Fuck it.
From a black man, to be the first to stand in that position, to bend over and have little black boys touch your hair so he can know you real, and you don't do nothing to protect his future.
Yeah.
And you want to stop for the picture. You want to take the picture so people can see the picture of the little boy touching your hair, right? But then when you behind closed doors, you want to have a beer summit. When the black man get violated by the police, man, look, bro, don't get me started, man. I'm gonna chill on him. I'm gonna chill.
How he let a nigga call him wrong for calling that policeman?
Ain't
a
no
idiot?
president in the history of this country had the words "you lie" offered to him while he's talking. And what did he do? What did he do? What did he do? He stood there silent, didn't say a word. He ain't say a word. He ain't say a word. But he worried about the nation though.
Yeah, I would have went clear.
But he worried about the nation.
So-
I'm part of the nation.
So on that,
How do you win when you're really pro-black? When that's your message?
Like I'm saying.
Your message is being pro-black.
And look, it's your
don't
message
know.
to win, but then it's your message once you've won. That's what I'm saying. It's a difference for it to be your message for you to get the win, but to maintain that platform and your connection to those people once you win. That's what I mean. That is the other side of the canvas that I think makes it difficult for people.
You got to play the voters.
And once I get in, look, what's happening? What's happening? And look.
That's our only choice.
But even if it's just one time, I ain't talking about. I'm not talking about you got to commit your entire administration to it. But you got to do something. You have to do something so these specific people and everybody else gonna know he ain't talking to me. He talking to them. He talking to them people. Because guess what? Them people ain't been talked to for over 400 years. Or if it is, it's during the phone call. Hey, would you come vote for me? So please, I'm a Democrat. I'm running for it. Why don't you come run for me? But then once they get in office and then you call them, oh, I'm busy. I'm having a meeting. I'll have my secretary call you back.
you know what's sad, dog? And
That's par for the course for our
And
people
again,
experience.
So what fucked me up, I ain't gonna lie. I'm by, because 45 kind of just fucked it up, right? I was like,
45 proved to be
Yeah.
that 44 had
You
powers
wonder-
that he
yeah.
decided not to use.
yeah. So I could name more black policies that 45 got through than I can name than Barack.
And so what I'm saying is, look, look.
I really can't name
But
one.
look, think about it like this.
Healthcare?
So Dino just said that Trump 45 did a whole lot of illegal shit. Cool. So it's clear that 44 was chilling. He ain't do. I mean, the only thing the dude did wrong was wear a wrong color suit. Right?
Yeah.
That's the only thing he did wrong.
Yeah.
So if you had all of that goodwill stacked up,
Yeah, do you hope?
by the time you
Make
win
no
re-election for
mistake.
your second
Make
term.
no mistake.
I slam if he did what 45 did.
But look though.
What he's saying
stop.
is he didn't do that.
Man, stop.
So he had way more goodwill
Stop.
to just go clean off. And
Press pause. If 44 would have got slammed doing something that was explicitly for the benefit of black people, he'd have had 5 million black lawyers lined up to make sure he was straight. They'd have been fighting with each other to be the one to say, I got him out. Are you dumb?
He was strapped.
Man, they would have put hits out on each other to make sure I was the one to say I got him out because he took care of us. Man, come on, bro. I'm thinking that this from the mindset of, look, if that candidate is going to be somebody who comes from the people, It's not gonna be somebody who's introduced to the people.
Oh, I know, and that's what I'm saying,
And if you come from the people, once the people elevate you to that platform, and that air is very, very thin, because nobody looks like you up there, you gotta still be yelling the same song that the people put in your ear, in your stomach, in your mind when they sent you up there. And that's what I mean by the other side of it, of being able to win, because you got a lot of people who could probably have the ability to win, but then to be able to stay on top of your people's needs and the emotions and concerns that they invest in you to send you out to represent them.
I don't think it's ability, dog. I think it's will. Like, do they want to do that? It's not. None of this shit come down to.
I'm hopeful.
Like,
I'm hopeful that it's not
like
as
that,
pussy as will.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, that's what the shit come down to. It come down to greed and being insert derogatory term here.
Right.
That's what them motherfuckers are.
Right.
Like, ask yourself, with just general common sense shit. Why are we debating on, sensible gun control and like weed and all? They don't have no Democrat. Like, this nigga ain't voting yes because the NRA giving him buku cheese. Period.
Let's
he
call it
don't
out.
care about none of that other shit, y'all. Second to me, he don't give a fuck about that.
A rat's ass, bro.
He don't give a fuck. Them 5 over them niggas right there.
Basically.
Them. Period. I watched C-SPAN. You know, I thought in law school I was going back and I used to read the Capitol Register, which was like back in the day, the C-SPAN.
Right.
They have a nigga in there, probably a nigga.
Right.
1, 2 niggas they taught how to read and write. Write all of the shit down. So all of the speeches that all of the man, I'm looking at this, the 13th Amendment, looking at debate or some other measures and things like that in history. And I watch C-SPAN and man, these niggas hoes, Greg. These niggas get up there and say any and everything but the basicest shit so healthcare.
They say any and everything except what the people who
Bottom
need to hear
line.
it hear.
Period. So, what you need health insurance for?
If I can interrupt for a minute.
You like your I didn't finish going off on this. No. You ain't gonna tell me I need health insurance. I don't need no fucking health insurance. I need a doctor. I need a hospital. Fucking and if it worked for the veterans and for retired people, why we can't do that shit for everybody else? All of the fucking money y'all taking out of all these people check every month going whoever, UMR and Permanente and all these what value do they add to the fucking system?
But
nothing.
But the requirement for you to have health insurance is still not as good as the health insurance of the people who are requiring you to have
Period.
health insurance. Like,
Period.
it's a whole ragged. So
And then you come with a whole Cadillac plan
It's called a
because you
parachute.
get elected to Congress once.
It's actually called a parachute.
Whatever.
Hey, so real quick, if y'all don't mind, if we could just take it back to the presidential candidate.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that the audience can hear me because I'm on the mic. Wu just mentioned this, which I think is so true, right?
Right.
The black people with education, who are actually in tune to politics and real life situation, you know, the people who are in tune feel like they don't trust niggas. They trust Obama. You understand? They trust the person who can go in and blend in with the current leaders and be able to make moves.
All right.
We don't trust what's the dude name out the 7th Ward?
Oh,
Noonan Man?
Huh?
Noonan Man?
That's it. We don't trust him.
I fuck with Noonan Man.
We looking at him like,
he's about to go
but
Like
the
he a clown.
truth is, we need a nigga to go into and we have to back him.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, we can't be trying to straddle the fence. We have to back this person because, you know, what we've been trying to back is that person like Obama who can go in and blend in.
Code switch, you know.
Yeah, you know, he's
he ain't
able
even
to
code
do
switch.
that.
He don't even speak black.
You know, but, you know, even me. I mean, I think that we all kind of, you know, on a struggle because subconsciously, even black people feel like that we're inferior. So that's why we try to act white and try to talk white. I'm just trying to, you know, this is just my
I get you.
opinion.
I'm with you.
And then other black people feel that. So even
Right.
with the times that our parents came up in into the time that we are in now,
Right.
obviously, you know, we're different. We teach our kids different morals and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But in general, we still want to try to, you know, fit in.
Right.
Versus having, like Wu said, the Tupac. Nigga, I want Pac as president.
Right. Why our business deals?
But the
not being
people
on
who got
basketball.
money that look like us and who have education, we don't want Pac. Because we feel like, nigga, this Pac.
Right.
But at the end of the day, this is the person who's going to come in and make real change, like somebody like Gary Chambers. I'm just going to, you know, throw that out there.
All right.
Right? Because he loose. He going off.
Right.
We don't want that. You know, and I say we, I mean black people with a little bit of power, a little bit of money.
Right.
We want the person
Because
that
he
looks
can't
like
be
the
controlled.
candidate that's in office.
He can't be controlled.
That can't be controlled. You know, and you can't say black people with money want people to be
Predictability.
controlled.
No.
That's no.
They want
me say what I gotta say.
predictability.
Well, predictability is cool.
but look,
what
though.
I'm saying is, if you have money, right?
Right.
You expect a service.
Period.
Nigga, I paid for this. I want this to happen.
Agreed.
That's it.
Agreed.
That shit is not, well, that's how the, you know, U.S. works, but that's not the way to make things right. To make things right, you need a person who's all the way out there.
Acting like a nigga who ain't never had shit.
Acting like a nigga who ain't never had
Never
shit.
had shit.
This is who
That's what I was gonna
the
play
people,
for man,
this
get
is who
my
our
fucking
people
speaker,
need.
man. My shit.
But we ain't ready to really hear that.
And so this my thing. For the people who might not trust somebody who's a unorthodox candidate, right? To me, I don't really give a shit what you look like. I want to hear what you got to say, right? So let's talk about Gary Chambers, right? Just about every time you done been around this brother, and every time you done seen the fruits of his labor, children seem to be better. Even if it's small, communities seem to be better. You know, folks seem to have a little bit more information. They seem to be aware. They seem to have a little bit more ability to change the circumstances in their own life. So I don't really give a shit what he look like. I don't really give a shit what he do when he go home in the evening. I know that the school that my son is gonna go to, if he got anything to do with it, them kids gonna be prepared to decide where they're going in their future.
And that's
we're not
you
gonna be telling them what they're
speaking
gonna
from
do.
That's you speaking from a perspective of a black man. In politics, unfortunately, it don't really work. Well, I ain't gonna say it don't work like
Wait.
that, but you cannot win if you don't appease to the
No.
majority.
No. It's a one man, one vote.
Yeah.
One man,
And
one vote.
this is a
And a vote is not a
gerrymandered
dollar.
districts. Gerrymandered districts don't just happen in white communities, right? So as part of this whole civil rights, voting rights thing, black people got these gerrymandered districts, of which, you know, our district is one. If you look at it, that shit creep not just past Lakeview to catch a little piece of the West Bank and shoot up to BR. You
To
feel me?
BR.
So they always gonna have somebody like Scalise representing basically that part of the greater New Orleans area. And then they're gonna have one nigga split between the rest of the NO and some of BR. Now, if we really bout it, and black people are willing to say, like, if we really gonna be fair about this shit, let's be fair, is gonna mean us giving up some of those gerrymandered districts.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
Now,
To concentrate and make
who
sure.
got the nuts to do that? Because the way I look at the population, you feel me? If you just threw down 7 blotches in Louisiana, 4 of them at least gonna come up black, majority black.
Right.
But we only got 1 black representative. You feel me? Out the 7. That's gerrymander. But the black,
So
the black
I don't
person
even know what
represented-
gerrymander is.
Is
But what I'm gonna
basically-
tell you this goes back to niggas being too smart or thinking they know, what's right. Our parents, that generation, hated rap, hip hop. This industry is getting us paid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And how many of our parents in that generation have realized that finally, but that first they didn't realize that.
No.
Right.
They saw niggas like Cube and Pac as ignorant.
And big.
We
Right,
did
yeah.
too, because that's what our parents taught us.
Yeah.
Right.
These other
Until
people,
you listen to what they had to say.
until you listen to what they had to say. So I'm gonna just talk about Pete.
Didn't matter what they look like.
This is N.O.PINIONS. Pete trying to coach the fucking Pelicans.
Fuck
He
it.
dead serious.
Fuck it.
I saw it on the news.
Fuck it.
At first thought, you like, man, this nigga Pete.
I'm cold.
But when you think about it,
Fuck it.
and how he expected, so he had the little interview. He basically like, bitch, I'm Pete. Like, first of all, I have experience, but I'm about to go get an assistant coach.
Yeah.
Who
Like,
called?
yeah, who
That's
think
what a
this is?
doing does.
Not to mention
Yeah.
I played in the league.
Not to mention I played in the league,
not to
but
mention I
yeah,
played in the league.
But that's what I was thinking. Just all this
it's
face.
hard for black folk with money and that are educated to bow down or follow a nigga like Pete or whoever,
Right.
who's
Right.
dude, these rappers and these entertainers, man, and I know it's a joke. Niggas running for president, nigga think Kanye is a joke running for
Right,
president.
man.
It ain't a joke.
I told.
No, that dude-
And if Kanye was,
Had some
speaking
kind of
on
sense,
shit
yeah.
that I
What?
related to,
Yeah.
I would vote for him.
Would I?
Period.
Would I?
But you ain't really
He
speaking
crazy,
to me.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Because I
think we
listened to what he had to
underestimate
say.
that shit.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
the smartest person
You
is the
ask
most
who can
popular
win.
person.
You ask who can win. They got niggas who can win, dog.
Oh, absolutely
They got
do,
niggas
Dave.
who can win.
But see how confident you are in saying they can win? Are you that confident in saying once they get in the dope, they gonna represent? Because
Who
so
can win,
look, I think about it like
Who
this.
can win? Who gonna get the white vote?
So again,
Because that matters. I'm sorry.
So what office? If you talking about senator, let's take senator in Louisiana. I want that job. Like when I was graduating from college, it was like, yeah, would it be the perfect job for you? Nigga, I want to be senator
Dave,
from Louisiana.
you had a campaign for school board,
Yeah,
Dave. You
I-
could put together a campaign
Senate.
for senator.
Fuck it, start right now.
But look though, Dave.
But-
if enough people said David Durand Jr., that's my vote,
Yeah.
and you get
Yeah.
the job, and you sitting in a room and you got to do something, and the effort could potentially impact Harrell Park or could potentially impact Jefferson Parish or something like that. Wouldn't you just feel at least something inside you be like, man,
understood.
I gotta make sure Harrell gets some new uniform.
Yeah.
Even though they got 5,700, I still want them to get like one.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like something compels you to see that some part of your people's existence is improved by your status, regardless of what it is. So,
And it's-
so seeing the job as a
Yeah.
job that belongs to the people, as opposed to a job that belongs to you.
I'm still seeing it as a business. I'm gonna be honest with you. Just as a businessman, I think as a business, and politics is no different. Yeah, you could do something cool that you want to do, but you still have to appease to the. You always reference the people who put you here. So okay, of course, black folk. If masses amount of black folk come out, we
I don't-
have to show
I
we appreciate
I don't
that.
just mean black people though.
Okay.
But I mean, that is absolutely implied in the statement. But that's not the only people. I'm talking
In
about the people.
politics, you got to shuck and jive.
I'ma tell
That's
you-
how I feel.
I'm gonna tell you what the rub is.
Trump didn't have to because he had two things.
Only
I'm
one people he
filthy
gave a fuck
rich.
about. I only give a fuck about one class of people.
No, first of all, I'm filthy rich. So before I ran for president,
I don't
I've-
owe nobody
I've
nothing.
been putting this
niggas
shit
like
together.
me, like everybody,
I've been
niggas
putting this
had
shit together.
songs about
Yeah.
just want to be like Donald Trump. He was that nigga.
Right.
Before he ran.
Understood.
Period.
Understood.
So I'm rich.
Understood.
I'm white. I'm a man,
Right.
and I'm fucking popular.
But you cannot.
That's the cheat code to winning.
Dean, you cannot underestimate the fact that there was only one population that he was focused on. There was only one group
Because
of
that
people
was the
in this
population.
country.
Just like you talk about focusing on black people to get them, like Obama got black people to come out and vote just because he was black.
Off the dump.
Trump got the trailer trash to come
Come
vote
on, just because he was
I'm
off
Trump.
the dump. Off the dump.
Off the dump, you come and vote.
Yeah.
But he didn't. I don't think he didn't work to walk. He just appeased to that crowd.
But listen.
He said shit to make you feel like.
What did he do?
Yeah, he said shit.
All right.
Yeah,
So those people heard him talking a language that meant that made they fucking heart pump.
Obama's scheme to win was a little different. For the black people, all he had to do was be black. You the first nigga. All you gotta do is be black. You sound more intelligent than all the other candidates, so now I'm definitely voting for you.
Yeah, it's over.
But the white people,
And you married to a black
I don't want to
woman.
be too black,
Yeah.
because I might not get them.
It's more than a jumper, dog. It's more than a left-handed jumper. It's more than getting a custom pair of presidential seal Air Force Ones or some Jordans or something. It's more than that, bro.
No.
You are in the.
No.
I feel
Man,
you.
I'm
you
gonna
are
disagree
in
with
the
you right
greatest-
now.
I feel you
You're
on
the
the second
greatest
time.
Black
Peter
people
Pan,
didn't
bro.
ask Barack for shit. Black people did not ask Barack for shit when he was running. All he had to do was be be married to Michelle, and every nigga who registered, ain't registered, thought they might.
Do you not
every
think
nigga-
that was part of the strategy?
Assumed that they would
Period.
That was part of the strategy,
There
Dave.
wasn't no, what Dean
Dave,
said, all they had to
man.
do was be black.
Hold on. All right.
Yeah,
So
two
I know
million
for a
black
fact that 44 took a picture with a particular individual while he was
Yeah,
running.
yes.
Right? And then he begged for that picture to be hidden so that nobody in any way associated him with that individual. The picture didn't come out until 10 years after 44. Like, are you serious?
But
Like
that's
10 years.
cheese, too.
10 years. No, but this person ain't got nothing to do with cheese, though. This person has something to do with his affinity for the affairs of black people.
Everybody got something to do with you.
But listen though, Dave.
Basic.
I mean, listen though, Dino. As the president, he is in the highest seat of power this country has on the organizational chart, bro.
Yeah.
So even if he had to sprinkle it around, like he had to, like even if he wasn't gonna do nothing policy wise, when a black man gets assaulted by law enforcement going into his own house, the last thing you should do is try to equal that black man's harassment with the feelings of the law
like
enforcement
we have-
officer who harassed him. Right?
I'll be honest with you.
Right?
dude.
The last thing you want to do is that,
I
right?
think that everything happened for a reason, and it happened in order. Mm-hmm. We talking about Obama, right? So it ain't about giving him a pass, dog. I give him a pass personally. I'm gonna just be honest with you.
But that's hindsight.
Hold on,
that's
but yeah,
after 45.
I give him a, because at this point, 45 was so loose.
Yeah.
He was so loose that the next person
could be,
I could be loose.
Yeah.
I just saw what happened.
Looseness, yeah.
44 is like, damn, I'm the first me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Of course they had conspiracies and all type of shit, but
Right.
all the conspiracies, I'm black.
Right?
I'm slaying.
Right.
Anything I do, I'm slaying.
Right?
So, yeah, he could have had a bigger. He was the coldest black man to hold that seat, but he didn't really
He's
have
the-
no
he's
nigga
the
in him.
only.
But he African.
He was the
He's
only.
not from the Caribbean.
He was only.
He's black,
That's
and
the
he
other thing.
did what a black man was supposed to do.
But he's
He
married
has
to
no-
married to a black woman and he has two black daughters.
But
bro.
she did a thing
Signed
outside
over
of
it.
policy.
And
Outside
that's-
of policy.
That's crazy how we could say his wife had more
It is
of a.
crazy.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
That's crazy how we could have that
All
discussion.
I'm saying is, Greg, for the next person of color to come into the office, they know what.
So, I'ma just go on and put it out here.
It's still
None of us will be
racist.
alive when the next person
It's
of color
still
gets
racist.
on. None of us will be
You know what I'm
alive.
trying to tell you? Like, it's still niggas assaulted the
Saint
Capitol
might be going
and
to his
they
grandson
got-
high school graduation
Yeah.
the next time we have a person of any kind of color in the
but-
White House.
Nah.
Yeah, but you kind of
Are you dumb?
Kamala gonna win.
Are
dog.
you dumb?
I'm telling you, she gonna win.
Man.
I'm telling you. Matter of
Well,
fact,
you know what?
I'm telling
You
you,
know
she's
what?
not gonna need to
She
win.
can win.
She's not gonna need to win.
She absolutely can win.
Robinette is gonna resign, and she gonna step in, and she's gonna win her first election. Or Robinette is not gonna run again.
I'm even
She
more
gonna
afraid.
win. She gonna win.
I'm even more afraid.
I think she in there.
After Trump ran, I feel like we are really completely
Really down, yeah.
divided
Divided.
as a country.
Which
You
means
can't predict who
which
who gonna
means
win.
that the country will never so like all of these restrictions.
I
and
think
all-
Stacey Abrams could be the next one.
But the reason she can't be is because it's understood that once she get in that room, she not untwisting her hair. She not putting no bleach on her skin. She not about to not talk about the people who she knock on the door and sit in those people's houses and understand their experience in a more visceral way than just what a 5-minute, a 30-second commercial could show.
So then let me.
That's why she will never win.
All right.
She has the capacity to represent her people, but
So let me
That's why
pose
she
this
won
thing
before.
to you. Let me pose this thing.
Oh, she didn't.
And I don't know how much time we got left, but I want run
I
it
think we
run
about
it here.
800 hours over.
Yeah. So this last thing. So
The tape ran out 3 days ago.
if what I ask is, damn, you done made me lose it already.
Ain't
It's
that
over.
Yeah,
We just went
off.
off. We just went off.
I had a point that I wanted to make.
Oh, that's what. So it's like you're talking about somebody that's got to be palatable to white people, somebody that's still got the courage
They vote too, yeah.
to be a nigga, you know, after they get in there. My thing is, we need somebody in there who's not gonna start the conversation at.
The edges. I'm with that.
We gonna start with what make white people feel comfortable.
The edges.
And then we could negotiate. That's what this infrastructure bill, this crime thing. So we ain't talk about that. I'm gonna say that for
But
next
wait,
time.
hold on, wait. I gotta say this though.
But
I
the
gotta say
thing is, like, so if we keep talking about, you know, protecting white people's feelings and making them want to be allies and, you know, having a conversation be, you know, it's too uncomfortable. Man, fuck your comfort.
I just
That's
wanna-
that.
I
I
got-
think
I have to clarify
that's the
something.
beginning of
I gotta clarify something.
where all candidates need to start.
I gotta clarify something.
Like fuck your comfort.
I gotta clarify something. I need to delineate
but that-
the bitchness. All right. I'm not talking about you get elected, then the next day nobody wears suits, everybody wearing dashikis.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? They got Al Green playing in the office. That's not what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm talking about you get elected for 2 years, one day out of your 2 years in office, you stand up and whatever you bring to the floor, whatever you argue for, whatever
I
you
don't
make
want
sure
that.
happens. Look, this for my people.
Nah.
Bam.
But
Yo,
I think 45 just proved that can happen.
Yeah.
I don't think 44 knew
exactly. The problem is
And I
45
couldn't
proved that it could happen for somebody who looks like 45. 44 proved that you can get there, but whether or not you have I don't even want to call it the courage, whether or not you got the wherewithal to be like, you know what, I'm here. For the first 4 years, I played it cool. And they managed to, man, excuse me, they let me slide in for another 4? Are you dumb?
Yeah. Because
Are you
you
dumb?
can't say you ain't suspect they was gonna do some 45 shit.
I'm saying, you know
So you wasn't like you were protecting
They
them
told
for
you
the next
on day
person,
one my
period.
objective. Wait, hold up. Mitch
had one term.
McConnell said on the day after he was re-elected that his job was to make Barack Obama a one-term president. That's impossible. But he's still working to do the impossible. There's footage of him saying when he is re-elected, you cannot make him a one-term president. But guess what he wanted to do? I'm gonna try anyway. I'm gonna try anyway. So even if even if I can't, man, even if I can't,
do you win?
when I bring all the presidents of all the HBCUs to the White House, guess what? All y'all walking away with a check.
How do you
Y'all
win?
ain't walking away with a Price is Right
How
picture.
do you win a presidential election with saying fuck white people's feelings?
That's not what you asked
I'm
to say.
saying that, yeah, I'm at. So I'm trying to figure it out. Like the line to
How
walk
do you
is
do that shit?
That's what I'm saying. That's
The
not what
line
the
to walk
expectation
is-
is. That's not the expectation.
like
But it's got to be.
It's gotta
No,
be.
it doesn't.
Because
It doesn't.
What I'm trying to tell you is, Greg,
if you comfortable with the way shit going on now,
that feel like
that
I'm
shit is about to be
not
uncomfortable.
racist.
Listen to
Period.
listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying, y'all. It don't have to be a staple. Was it a staple of Barack's 44's campaign? No, it wasn't. It was absolutely not. And he won. He still was presented with the opportunity to say, Mr. Law Enforcement Officer, I'm sorry. You violated this man. So what I'm not about to do is sit down with you and roll my sleeves up and drink no beer and talk to you like you treated this man like he was human. I'm not about to level the playing field for you. What I'm about to do is I'm about to stand next to this black man who got violated by you, and we're going to tell America that this black man was violated on his property. And he ain't never got to say nothing to black people ever again in life. But guess what? Black people will know at the bottom of his heart, at the bottom of his heart, he willing to speak to the affairs of black people. And that's all I'm saying.
Do you feel like
one time, bro.
But that's not a policy change.
So,
but look, I need a policy change.
But
look,
it's just a stance.
But the policy change.
Off of that stance, do you feel like something would have happened to him? You know,
What you
like,
mean?
Listen.
Do you feel like that he would have experienced
What? He would have experienced resistance?
What,
That's what they did anyway.
Not resistance.
Who? You talking about Barack?
Niggas get slammed because they're black.
Who you talking about?
I understand
Barack.
that. But
No, man, not worse than he was already getting.
Man, that's what I'm saying.
No.
Dino, you can make a checklist of all of the maltreatment that he received that no president ever received.
That's part of the
you
reason
can make a
I call him
checklist long as from here to drive from here to Howard, bro.
Yeah.
So
It wasn't gonna be no way. That wasn't
at
family
some
and
point, bro.
danger.
At
No.
some point, bro.
No.
The damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like
So just go off.
football practice at the coach is gonna bust your ass if you get it right. They're gonna bust your ass if you get it wrong. So you might as well do it the way you feel like doing it, right? Yeah. It's the same thing, bro.
But he didn't feel like that.
And look, at no point.
I'm trying to give him a pass because I feel like he felt like I'm slammed. Like if I go against the people, you keep referencing the people who got me here. Black people are a portion of that,
Right.
and then there's the other people.
Understood.
So I just think he's a fucking politician.
Nah.
Which
Which means you dish a little something to everybody to keep him quiet. So he every time that.
You don't do nothing, and everybody.
So no.
But he didn't do nothing.
Son.
He didn't do nothing.
Part of what you
His name is on signature legislation that changed the fortunes of specific populations in this country. So don't we can't say he didn't do nothing.
Part of what you saying though is, dog, like I had a problem with all black people voting, Democrat again up until Barack, when one side clearly picked racism.
And that's a case that you can understand.
But again, I'm gonna say it plainly, dog. No, black people did not ask Barack and Michelle for a
damn thing.
I
totally agree.
Period.
I totally agree.
So for you to say, the people that got you here and all this and that's not technically true. Because he definitely relied on our vote.
They didn't ask.
But he ain't act.
But look, Dave, look.
Son.
So
that's on us. That's on us.
Wait, but check me out. This is why I'm even more pissed with him. Because I understand, after reading the individual who was asked not to publicize the picture that was in 44 with 44, reading some of his memoirs, understanding that the strategy was to in no way give America the thought process that this man was going to speak to the affairs of black people. That was the sheet that you were supposed to wear, and then once he got in, take the sheet off. So if it worked for you to get in, and all of these people decided not to ask you for nothing, so America didn't see you listening to the affairs of black people, and still got you in. Once you walked in the door, at some point you got to be like, man, like where am I? Let me. Okay, so when you see the White House interns from the 45 administration, every person in that picture is white.
Man.
Right? When you see the White House interns from 44 administration, man, it look like a crayon box. We got a little bit of everybody, right? So I'm saying he felt it necessary to do something that was like mainstream accepted, but we went above and beyond because we don't vote. Yeah, we went above and beyond to give you what you needed to get you in that office. Yeah, everybody else voted for you, but our people came out like they haven't came out before or since to get you in there.
We'll close the show like this, like we opened.
Yeah, this was definitely a go-off.
Y'all motherfuckers still out here getting disappointed with Democrats and what they fail to do up for black people after we show up in elections year after year, cycle after cycle, candidate after candidate.
But you can't come eat at Dookie Chase and just completely not holler at the NO.
For motherfuckers to be shocked at Democrats being insert derogatory term here, y'all might as well be that same derogatory term.
Understood.
And, Republican is no secret. So what I'm saying is we have all of these vehicle platforms. Man, I'm telling you, you talk about when I ran for school boy, it cost $150. Period.
Right.
Noonan, man, it don't ball out of control, but he on the ballot damn near every election. Like, get on the ballot and just go off. Just go off. Fuck it, you might make the runoff.
That's my thing.
If you make the runoff, you gonna win. Period. I feel like whoever make the runoff, if you are official go off nigga, if you make the runoff, you gonna win. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
So
who? You said you was running. I'm look.
running.
I always saw myself as a behind the scenes, make it happen kind of cat. I don't really need to be in front of the camera. Just let me go holler at the people. Let me roll my sleeves up. Let me go talk to the people.
So you're gonna know when I'm running.
That's me.
When I stop smoking, I'm gonna just put that. I'm probably gonna have to stop smoking, and then probably gonna have to stop using nigga. But I don't know. I don't know.
Well.
So, but.
Well, you got to express yourself. So I feel like
it's part of that's a whole.
I feel like you express yourself.
But you gonna know. You gonna know. Yeah, all right. So for sure.
Another one, son. Another one in the book.
Got another one down.
So Wu was telling us y'all got to get the fuck.
Yeah. This was live.
He didn't erase the board. Yeah, he didn't erase the board on us and everything.
Appreciate y'all coming out. Won't wipe down the board.
Yeah, he ain't got nothing on the board.
He closed down the board.
Closed the laptop.
He can't get no more facts up.
Get the fuck out.
He can't get no more facts up no more.
Get the fuck out.
We'll say get out of here.
Go off.
All right, for sure. Y'all be cool with it.